knew him as Nancy.
It's okay. Yeah, man. As we discussed. I never knew before tonight that Bonds has a blonde section. First time I've ever seen that.
Put that blonde on the left there.
Blonde on blonde, so to speak. So
We're gonna do China Shikoku, we're gonna do the drum thing.
okay.
China Thailand, drum thing for Shikoku. And then we're gonna do something different.
Yeah. Should I do an intro? So, hello everyone. So, over the years, the chief. Over the years, Ken would share a lot of his travel writing with me. So I thought for this first set, I would read a few of the things that he shared with me. I know Ken wasn't interested really in having his own work published for the most part, but I don't think he'd mind if I shared it with all of you. So, true. So, a few travel pieces by Ken. Views from the train presented a scrolling series of tableaux showcasing the virtues and successes of communism. Captivating picturesque villages, well-kept fruit tree groves, fat pigs, farm plots with working water buffaloes and barefoot farmers rice planting. Scenes that overlapped with picture book images recalled from childhood. Youngsters in charge of gaggles of gleaming white ducks, keeping neatly terraced emerald rice fields pest-free and fertilizer-enriched, or tending wide-horned buffalo grazing between fields, their day's work completed. Physical China, the roadshow, extends in every direction. Vast areas being cultivated, earth broken and turned with long-handled narrow hoes. Farmers harvesting wheat by hand with sickles, grain spread on the ground, threshed with flails, carrying resulting full sacks of grain on backs using a headband. Looks like Japan 30 years ago, or before the war, Beauty commented. One noticeable difference from Japan, at all stops along the way, women matter-of-factly accorded equal working status as station masters. Later we saw them even driving locos. Knowing nothing about the ramifications of local level politics of China, a nation that was emerging from the post-war isolation and committed to navigating a major social experiment, I found it easy to imagine I was seeing a cohesive, common sense of purpose and long-term vision, equal rights and shared values, that implicitly rejected the excesses of Western capitalism and individualism. What I had read and loved in classical poetry anthologies penned by reclusive literati, and what I knew of Taoism and Confucianism went out the window as if no longer relevant. Physically entering this alternative social political reality, even simply observing Even simply observing passing scenery from a train was much like a drug rush. I had never felt anything as intense in my encounters with Japan. Looking back, I feel exceptionally privileged to have had the opportunity to travel overland from Hong Kong to the west of China at that relatively early stage in the country's long, determined, and successful economic and social revival. From bare and gritty necessities to all the trappings of modernity and consumerism seen now along the formerly vast but still remaining rural-urban divide. This trip gave me my first insights into how much Japan absorbed from Chinese culture and how much was borrowed, was in turn adapted and made fully Japanese. But my major realization was that China, in the later 20th century, was committed to totally pragmatic priorities based essentially on massive public effort with the long-term objective of transformation. Meanwhile, minimal luxuries, ostentation, waste, functional values that made me question, again, the sheer profligacy of the West and even Japan. Thailand, 2022? Thailand, 2022. Maybe, I wrote maybe. Buddha nature. Embodied in wood, bronze, brass, lustrous silver, glowing gold, sometimes translucent otherworldly green, or glowing ruby crystal. Even cast in time-worn concrete or stained stucco, every one of Thailand's multitude of Buddhas, has a unique and singular presence. Some sit pensively, others stand, some stride or recline elegantly in sacred space. Some have top knots that seem to be on fire. A few are piteously emaciated, others headless, even seated torso-less, aspiring to absolute no-self. Voiceless, they speak powerfully through a vocabulary of hand gestures, mudras, signifying earth-touching, ocean-calming, restraining quarrels among relatives, vouchsafing liberation, subduing that powerful purveyor of illusion, Mara. Each continent expresses a different presence, though all are tranquil. Thin-faced or wide-cheeked, neither young nor old, eyes mostly lowered, self-effacing. A few seek eye contact, others seem privately amused. Most are deeply immersed in meditation, some virtually absent, gone beyond. Each of these serene figures represents an artist's visualization of the awakened self. Each is a separately arrived at vision of Buddha essence. It's said that all dogs have similar dog nature. All elephants share elephant nature. Buddha nature in the bud, in the flower, in the fruit. All Buddhas are the same Buddha. At first glance, the faces of the multitudinous visitors thronging Thailand's temples, representing so many ethnicities and nationalities, all appear undeniably different. But beyond that illusion of individual singularity, if we were to sit quietly and simply recognize our shared human nature, might we all not be indeed Buddha-like? Shikoku, 2023. Form and emptiness at Ryozenji. Ryozenji is the first destination on the 1,460-kilometer 88-temple Henro circuit of the island of Shikoku, a pilgrimage memorializing wanderings and exploits of the Buddhist saint Kobodaishi early in the 9th century. In a hall of bright lamps, chanting the Heart Sutra, the essential contradiction, Shiki shiki zu zei kuzoku zei shiki. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Unexpectedly encountering a fine copy of the Serene Buddha I visited twice in Sarnath, where the great teacher first set in motion the ever-turning wheel of Dharma. Celebrating this fortuitous meeting, as if with an old friend, lighting a small stick of incense, standing it in a bowl of long accumulated ash. Appearing as out of nowhere, almost miraculously, a large smoke ring, an undulating Mobius galaxy loop, wheeling in the still void in front of the Buddha. Tilting, gradually morphing into what just might be the irregular outline of Shikoku, or even the winding Henro route before the scented smoke dissipates. Form into emptiness. What remains? The hallowed Buddha's inward smile. Faceless. My mother taught me the alphabet long before I started school. The main lesson, everywhere we look, we can find meaning. Faces reveal or embody all emotions. Fears, desires, joys and suffering, determination, the boredom and excitement of every monkey mind. At age 25, with at least average exposure to the interactions of daily life and the tropes of TV and classic cinema, I thought I could read faces. But when I started working in Tasmania's state mental hospital every day, filling in on a differently specialized ward, I suddenly had to speed read. I needed to intuitively recognize every state of mind and predict non-standard behavior through faces and body language. Reading facial expressions remains part of how I observe and interpret the everyday, impermanent world. Now, over 40 years resident in Japan, I especially enjoy the ways that sculptors in the Buddhist traditions manage to imbue wood, clay, stone, and metal faces and figures with superhuman intensity, envisioning even the Tathagata Buddha, the totally gone beyond. Those who are no longer susceptible to passions, fears, or yearnings may appear to journey beyond even the limits of bliss. Here at Onzanji, a disciple close to enlightenment has traveled so far on the way as to casually discard his face. With nothing now left to express, it's simply no longer needed. Andyakuji and the monkey mind. Andyakuji, the temple of peaceful relief, sixth on the circuit, notable for, among many sculptural features, a long frieze wood carving of detailed scenes from the life of Kukai, including this apparently incidental re-envisioning of the traditional image of three wise monkeys, Mizaru, Hikazaru, Iwazaru. The Heart Sutra says, Mugen ni bise shi ni mukushiki soko mi soko ko. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body or form, body or mind, no form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or mind object. But what do monkeys know? Seeking wisdom in the celestial persimmon orchard, these three aging monkeys have found a book, perhaps an exposition of the Dharma. Can they read it? Who knows? In some way they have awakened, eager now to hear more, see more, to debate more on the nature of wisdom. But will they attain full enlightenment? All things are possible. The Heart Sutra also says, Muchi yaku mu tokui mu shou toku ko. There There is no wisdom, nor is there attainment, for there is nothing to be attained. Monkey minds, like mine, love enigmatic wordplay. Maybe the Heart Sutra was written and translated by monkeys. Who knows? Last one. How to pray. Yakuoji, Temple 23, is the last of the Awa temples of awakening faith. Believed to have been founded by order of Emperor Shomu, its Yakushi Nyorai was carved by Kukai. At each temple along the way, we encounter a different principal image, often reputedly sculpted by Kukai himself. A Dainichi Nyorai, an 11-faced Kannon, a 1,000-armed Kannon, a Jizo Bosatsu, an Aizen Myo, a Bishamonten, an Amida Nyorai, a Yakushi Nyorai. In their implied presence, seen or unseen, we light candles and incense, drop a paper slip with date, name, and address into a stainless bin. Who will ever extract and read its innumerable contents? We swing an ornately braided rope to sound a suspended attention-calling gong, toss coins into the offertory box, and put hands together in prayer. Then what? Do I make a personal request for health and good fortune? No, too pushy, self-centered. A petition including family and friends? Still too small-minded. For all beings? Overreach, way too abstract. Better to simply ask this: what practice or state of being, if realized and applied, might be of greatest personal and universal benefit? As if in response these suggestions arise: clarity, clear-mindedness, leading to freedom from false expectations, appreciative gratitude, purposefulness, creativity, resourcefulness, equanimity, ability to focus on more than momentary concerns, sufficiency, freedom from the ups and downs of emotion, empathy, kindness, benevolence, respect, setting aside of self-concern, resilience, steadfastness, fortitude, resolution. It's no coincidence that these states of mind characterize the faces of so many sculpted guardians encountered along the way. Short version, still in progress. May we all enjoy the blessings of a meaningful life lived well. Thank you.
Edward J. Taylor. Ted Taylor.
Yeah.
一回休憩をしましょう。ありがとうございます。
I just want to go show this a picture. Hold on.